Okay, for today's lesson, we are learning to use comparative and superlative adjectives. This is actually a revision of what I have already covered with you. Okay, so let's go. Now remember, we use comparative adjectives when we want to compare one person or thing with another. Okay, so these were the two examples that were covered with you. Tiny is taller than Sky. Tiny can run faster than Sky. One compared with one. Superlative adjectives are used when we compare one person or thing with more than one person or thing. So for example, the gentleman here is the tallest among the three people in the room. So I want to now cover or revise with you irregular, comparative, and superlative adjectives. Remember that these adjectives do not follow the rules of forming comparative and superlative adjectives. You will have to memorize them in order to use them correctly. Okay, so remember, we have an adjective that is used to describe a noun, good. Okay, collies, which is this kind of dog breed over here, are good dogs. And when I want to compare collies with another different breed of dog, I would say collies are better dogs than German shepherds. And superlative adjective, compare one noun with other nouns. Okay, so among all the dogs, I would say some people think that collies are the best dogs ever. So remember good, talk about one, better, compare one with another, and best, compare one with everything else. Let's look at another example. Okay, I love cookies, so I'm going to use cookies as my example here. Eating one cookie is good, but eating two cookies is even better. However, eating a plate of cookies is the best. So again, adjective, comparative, and superlative. Now let us look at the negative of good, better, and best, and that would be bad, worst, and worst. Okay, so let's look at describing a noun. These headphones are bad. Comparing with another set of headphones, these headphones are worse than my old ones. These headphones are the worst that I've ever owned. So comparing the headphones to all the other headphones that I have owned. Okay, let us look at one more example. The rubbish smells bad. Ugh. The rotten cheese smells worse than the rubbish. Comparing the rotten cheese to the rubbish. But in the rubbish there is rotten fish, and I can say the rotten fish smells the worst of all, comparing it with all the other rubbish in the bin. Okay? Now, let us look at how we can identify errors in some sentences. Okay, so how do I check for errors? Let's look at sentence number 1. I had the better dream last night. This is a general statement, okay? It's talking about one dream. And because of the word the, I know that this has to be a superlative adjective. So better is incorrect. Better only compares two things. So better is the error. I have to change better to the best. And this sentence should read as, I had the best dream last night. Let us now look at another example. Which subject do you like best? Maths or science? Now, in daily conversations, I guess this is how you will speak to your friends, and it sounds correct, but actually this sentence is grammatically wrong. Now, which subject do you like best, maths or science? I'm only asking you to compare two different subjects. So, we shouldn't use the superlative adjective best. We should actually use the comparative adjective better because you're only comparing maths to science or science to maths. Two things are being compared. So the correct sentence should be, which subject do you like which subject do you like better? Maths or science? Okay, and that's it for the lesson. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson. Thank you.